Alright, what's up you guys? This is Devin from CenturyFX Studios and we're back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Yongnuo 600 EXRT flash and how many times it's broken on me. Alright guys, we want to start off this video by telling you I am not sponsored by Yongnuo or Canon or any brand for that matter. I'm just telling you my personal experiences with this flash. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys, happy 4th of July for those of you who are celebrating it. And for those of you who are not celebrating it, have a good day that day. In the past, essentially 2 years, I've bought 4 Yongnuo EXRT 600 series flashes. They've been a great flash as far as functionality. They haven't been as good as the Canon flashes, and they all cost around 100 bucks, 115 bucks if you get them on Amazon, depending on if you get the flash diffuser and some other additives with it. That flash is very, very powerful, and the reason it's probably one of the most expensive Yongnuo flashes, because Yongnuo is a third-party Chinese brand, is because it has a radio slave in it. It has a radio trigger in it. This is the flash. This is one of my working ones. This is the Mark II version. The only difference between the Mark I and the Mark II version, I believe, is the amount of groups that you can put your flashes in. I think you get more groups on the Mark II version, but there's essentially no big difference between the Mark I and Mark II version, so you can work with them synonymously. You can really work with them together and integrate them too. I've had, I believe, a Mark I to break on me and a Mark II to break on me. Now, like I said, I've bought 4 in the past 2 years essentially, and 2 of them have broken on me. This one broke on me, and this one broke on me. Now, let's start with this one. This one was the first one to break on me. This was a Mark, and it's faded here, but this one looks like it was a Mark II version. And the Mark II version is the one you're probably going to be able to find on Amazon. So the Mark II version is probably easiest to find. The Mark I version is discontinued, but you can still find it at different locations if you shop online. But this one, like I said, all of them are about 100 bucks to 115 bucks. The price didn't really change. But this one, as you can see, it looks pretty, I'm not going to say new, but it looks like it's in one piece. You might see some tape here. I had the front part, it fell on the side here. The red shield for the infrared light, it kind of broke off, so I just replaced it with the broken ones that I had in my my cupboard. So if you listen to that, I don't know if you can hear that in the video, but if you listen to this, it's got some rattling going on the inside. Well, when I first got this flash, about 3 months out, I got Pocket Wizards, and I wanted to trigger this flash with Pocket Wizards. So if anybody know what Pocket Wizards are, there's just little remotes that go onto your flashes, and you can put them on any camera and trigger whatever flash that you're using, as long as the mode on the flash can see the Pocket Wizard or communicate with the Pocket Wizard in some shape or form to receive that signal. Now, if you look right here, this is the 1/4-inch thread that they put on all Yongnuo 600 EXRT flashes. Now, I had a 1/4-inch 20 thread to 1/4-inch 20 thread. So all I was trying to do was essentially just twist this in there. Once I twisted that in there, I was going to just put a Pocket Wizard on there, because a Pocket Wizard has a 1/4-inch 20 thread, so it can accept that. All I did was just twist it a couple of times, and all of a sudden the thread on the inside of the Yongnuo 600 EXRT just fell inside the flash. Now you might be saying, well, that's not a big problem, didn't it still work? Well, yeah, it did still work, but what happened when this metal thread or metal composite or whatever they use falls inside of the flash, it has other components that need to send power, positive and negative. Basically use the circuit itself. So when you put something metal on top of a circuit, it shorts that circuit out, or makes it arc, or makes it ground out. It pretty much makes a spark on the inside of this flash. So after about a month after this happened, and I screwed it in there, and it kind of got stuck, I could never get it out, and I don't want to open these flashes because I know how complicated they are inside. But once I got that stuck in there, maybe a month or 2 afterwards, I was taking it on a couple of jobs, and it started to like arc or spark at me on the inside, and you can hear this really loud pop, but the flash would still work. I thought it was the flash tube on the inside that was, or that just broke all of a sudden. This happened about 3 times, and then all of a sudden I was at a school and I just had it on my camera and it stopped working. Now, when I heard that popping noise, I immediately knew I needed to purchase a new flash. I just went on ahead and bought another 600 RT with the warranty or the little square tray thing that Amazon gives you. I went on and got that for my next one. But this is how the first one went down. It just kind of made loud popping noise after about 5 loud popping noises because this metal threading was stuck in the inside. Moving on to the next one. Now this one. This was a 600 Mark 1 or 2. They look essentially the same. I guess it doesn't really matter. And I can think the build quality is the same for both. But you have this one where the flash head is just off. Well, this is what essentially it would have looked like had the flash been on there. But I actually took this off. But the flash head itself, if you look inside here, you might see a little flash tube. That little tube actually broke. You know, the little tube inside. I don't know if you can see that very well on the ADD there, but the flash tube inside, it actually broke. It was on this one that it broke, but the flash tube on the inside is like a little, it's like a little string, right? And all of a sudden, it broke just like that. And how did it break just like that? Well, for those of you who go on Amazon and buy some cheap speed light holders, well, that's kind of how it broke. I was relying on it to stay on this speed light holder, and this little bracket here, it wasn't as tight as I thought it would be. Another thing with the Yongnuos is they have these lock mounts on them, and they're not as good as I want them to be. And the way they work is they kind of clip on the back of the hot shoe or cold shoe mount, depending on what you're using. And sometimes they lock it in a position where it's still loose, and it's not as tight as it can be. So that's what happened, and I was just doing like this, and all of a sudden it fell. So yeah, but so this is the working model that I have, and it's actually not all in one piece. I have 2 of these actually. One's in my bag, but this one looks exactly the same. There's no difference. Essentially this is a Mark 1, I think, or I have 2 Mark 2s. I don't know the wording. Okay, so this is a Mark 2. But the wording tends to fade over time. But one thing that does not work correctly on this is my bounce card. It actually came out. And this came out on both of the working ones that I have. So on the one that I don't have that's working, the fill card, this little bounce fill card reflector thing, and it comes in pretty much every high class flash, and it has one of these white bounce cards on it. But it broke on both of my working flashes. I guess it makes sense because I pull it out the most, but I was out in the field, and for those of you who know how the weather is now, it's very, very hot in the summertime, and I was out in the field maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This top part of the flash was very, very hot, so I go to pull it out, and it gets stuck a little bit, so I kind of try to gently ease it out and push it back in, and then all of a sudden I just pulled it out. And this doesn't really happen to me with Canon flashes. It happened to me once with a Canon flash, but that was after 5 years of using it. So I think the build quality on those little pull-out fill cards are lackluster, to say the least. I've actually had 3 Yongnuo flashes to break on me. I purchased 5 Yongnuo flashes. One was a 500 series, but one just fell off the actual stand. Like I said, these cheap lock mounts, and like I said, these are not the most reliable things to purchase, and I'm not the most careful person with my gear. I know that YouTubers like to tell me how unsafe I am with my gear. I'm still kind of getting my money's worth out of it. Like the other YouTubers were telling me when I first did my research on buying a Yongnuo flash, beware it's gonna break. Don't think of it as a tool, but not the most durable tool. Expect it to break, have a backup. So I've done that, and it hasn't failed me on a gig yet. The whole having another backup flash to have in case the other one breaks. So those are some of the things to worry about, guys. When you buy a Yongnuo flash, make sure when you have it, you don't want it. You probably don't want to use this little thread, even though it's there. Don't use it. I'm just gonna say don't use it, because the plastic here it just doesn't hold up where that thread is mounted. Another thing I would do is make sure if it has to drop, probably drop it down here somewhere, where everything is kind of it's a little bit heavier down here, and everything is kind of drilled down, so if it moves, it doesn't shake anything out of place. Now up here, this is where the flash tube is. You really don't want it to fall and hit that part of the flash tube. I already broke this one, so there's no point in being gentle with it. But with this top part right here, you do not want this to fall on anything concrete or hard or dense. You want it to kind of be protected. So if you could put something like some rubber around it to shock absorb it, that would be an awesome idea. Based off of the things that these flashes can do, I'd say it's worth what I'm going through right now. I can't really complain. I mean, I was complaining when they broke, but I didn't think more of what I paid for them. So you guys have a happy holiday if you're celebrating. For those of you who are not, still have a great day. Oh yeah, updates on the channel, guys. I am still working on the roadside chat. I got my first episode up. I had a second and third episode, but I'm still trying to get my audio corrected, being in the car and trying to make sure my H4n doesn't break, even though it did kind of slide when I was trying to mount it in the car. We're still trying to get the audio right. We got the video right. We just want to make sure we have everything looking good, looking nice, and I'm able to drive and actually vlog to you guys. So that's what's coming up next. Photography A to Z. That's coming up. It's going to be some good stuff coming down the pipes, guys, and also another 70 to 200 episode. I'm going to bring some models in the videos. You guys seem to like this. This is a male-dominated field of photography, and most guys that are going to watch me probably going to be male. So all that being said, guys, I'm done with CenturyFX once again. And have a great day.